Okay, so far we have evaluated expressions based on the actual numbers. But what if we have already stored those values into variables? The question then is, will the code or will the computer, will the source code evaluate the variables just like they evaluated the actual numbers? So let's find out. Let's take a look at this code and see what's going on and then watch it execute. So the first set here, the first set of instructions, I am going to do a very basic math operation. So it's not about the math, it's about understanding how the code is being interpreted, okay? And then down here, I'm going to do something very similar, except that I'm going to use two strings. So up here is math, and up here is concatenating strings. And actually, um, well, we'll see. We'll see how I use John Smith down here. So let's take a look at each of these variables. So I have X and Y, and I have integers, right? So these are all integers. And what I've done is I've taken one is assigned to X and two is assigned to Y. So they're both been declared. And then I take this Z variable and I said Z is equal to whatever X plus Y is, okay? So Z is equal to X plus Y. This print statement simply opens up some gap in the console before it prints out that what this is. And so we want to see print your answer is Z. So what we want to do is simply take this value here, and I'm going to do this, and print it here. So this is this, X plus Y, these are all integers. This is an integer, this is an integer. That makes this an integer by default, and it will pass here, okay? So really basic, but instead of using those actual numbers in the math operation, and like I said, learning how to use variables is going to become essential to your skill sets in being a coder, a developer, or anything that you want to do working in code. So using variables, knowing how to manipulate, change, alter, adjust, find information. It's all about the use of variables, okay? And at a certain point, we're going to call these variables instances of an object or an instance of a class, but we're not even close to there yet. So what we want to do is become very, very comfortable using variables. And so doing this over and over again, like I said, is going to be key. So this should, 2 plus 1, this evaluates to 3. Z is 3. Z is not X plus Y. These are not strings, okay? It's not this. So these are not strings. We are actually dealing with numbers, which is what we want. And this is going to evaluate to 3, and so this should print out 3, and I have got it down here for whatever reason, 3. I skip a space and then I go, okay, I have a first name variable, and it's a string, and this is a string. It's John in quotes. And then I have that's my first name. And then I have a last name called Smith, and it's also in quotes. It's a string, so it's not going to evaluate to a number. But what I've done is actually pass this whole space here, first name plus a actual space, because I've got two quotes here, concatenate it. That's what these plus signs are. These are operators. Up here, it's a math operator. Here's concatenation. So first name and last name, and that's going to be passed to this variable called name. And then name will print to the screen. Okay, so up here is a math operation, X plus Y, numbers. Down here, I'm concatenating strings, first name plus last name. And I could have easily done this. Now watch this. For right now, I'm going to comment that out. And I want to put this in here. So I want to put first name plus last name. And I just want to show you what this will print to, okay? So you always see me save my program, and then I'm going to do this. So up here, it says your answer is 3. Again, we're not looking for the math. We're looking for how the code is interpreting its values, and that's exactly what we want it to do. And then down here is John Smith. So where's John Smith right here? Well, I'm printing out this first name concatenated or joined with last name. And because I didn't give them a space, basically the two words are just one right after the other without any space. So that doesn't look good. It's not readable in terms of, what we're accustomed to, but the program did exactly what it was designed to do. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. Let's take that out. Let's take that out. Let's rerun the program. And as you can see, it now has John space, and there's my space. Last name is Smith, okay? So the code did exactly what we wanted to do, but more specifically, we're working directly with variables. And variables are the things that we want to be able to work with because they provide us so much more functionality, as we'll see later on. Okay, so with that being said, I know my tongue is getting tired, and I will see you next time.